There we go. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jared Weathers, and welcome back to the Weathers Media Podcast. And today we have someone filling in for Aaron. We have Jason. Jason, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. How you doing?
Doing all right. All right. So let me screen share so you know what we got going on today. Okay. All right. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. Oh, jeez. So the first thing we got to talk about today is it's a question. Should churches stay open? I'm gonna let you start on this one.
I'm gonna say no because it is going to stop the spreading of the virus, along with due to no large crowds or um, anything like that. I also do believe that if they do want, you know, like a sermon or something like that, they should try to do like a video conference or whatever with everybody that goes to the church, like their churches.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Um, Churches should have to not let anyone in. And second question here: should the election still go on as planned? With everything that's going on.
Yeah, I would still agree. So, I mean, they could still, they should do like an online ballot type thing, or send it to you by your mail or whatever. Do it that way
Right.
instead of going out and being in crowds and you know risking yourself to catching the virus.
Right. I agree. Um, So, what was it, like a few days ago? The president had I believe it was a conference call with different sports leagues, and he said that everyone should have an audience by at least August. Do you see that happening?
Um, let's see here. Well, maybe it's a possibility if people, follow the guidelines that the president has put out there. Stay six
I
feet away, wash your hands.
Yes, I agree. Um, I do think that they might have it by August. Um, I'm hoping anyway. I'm gonna be really mad if the NFL doesn't have an audience.
Me too.
Um, Especially we're not allowed to go to the stadiums and stuff.
Right. And most of them, the players that are on the sports teams are losing money right now because
Yeah,
half of their, some of their pay come from ticket sales and uh, you know
yeah, yeah,
merchandise being purchased and
right. Um, so it looks like we have someone join the podcast.
Sorry, I had to take my dog out because no one else can do it.
And all right, so the British Open got canceled, and it is they're rescheduling it. I believe it's in November. Um, Al Kaline, I believe is how you say his name, a former Tiger of 22 years, passed away recently.
yep,
Uh,
Mr. Tiger.
Yeah, Mr. Tiger. PS5 released a new controller. It looks like they just ripped off Xbox. Jason, have you seen the new controller?
I have not.
Aaron, have you seen the new controller?
I have not either. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
It looks just like an Xbox controller.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send it to both of you later.
Let's see.
Um, The UFC bought an island.
I was actually watching that on the news this morning.
Yep, they bought an island to do their fights, and now it looks like Mortal Kombat's going to become a reality.
Hmm.
All right, let's move on to football. As you can see, I put football because we have National Football League news and College Football League news. So let's get into this. Hall of Famer Bobby Mitchell, the first African American player to be signed by the Redskins, passed away.
Oh man, he was a good football player.
Yeah. Former Saints kicker Tom Dempsey, the guy he had the longest field goal record, is at 64 yards.
I think it's something like that.
Since the 70s until Prater broke it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He died. The Hard Knocks show on HBO is going to feature both LA teams for the first time ever. They're going to have two teams on there on the season. It's going to feature the Rams and the Chargers.
Nice.
Yeah. Buccaneers and Falcons released their new uniforms. I haven't seen the Bucks yet. Have either of you seen the Bucks uniforms? Aaron?
I haven't.
Okay. The Falcons, they're going back to black. They will be in black uniforms.
Nice.
The Lions said they will take Chase Young if he's there at 3. They're not going to pass on him. Jason, tell me what you think about that. Is that a good deal for the Lions to get Chase Young?
I think that'd be a great deal. He's very quick off the line. It's very good. We need somebody on defense.
I agree.
We haven't had a good defensive player since Sue left, and we've been going downhill ever since.
True. Aaron, if they don't take Chase Young, if Chase Young isn't there, who else could they take at 3?
Who, the Lions?
Yeah.
Not sure really. Never really even heard of Chase Young. I'm looking him up right now. See that he played for Ohio State.
He did. He's their best player they had.
Yeah. Not sure who the Lions would take besides Chase Young.
College football wants to add more teams to the college football playoffs after their contract ends in 2026. Jason, how many more teams do you think they could add?
I believe they could probably add from anywhere between 4 to 8 teams, maybe.
Aaron, same question to you.
I don't think they'd expand to 8 more teams. I can probably see maybe 4.
Maybe. We'll have to see. We got a lot of wrestling news. So apparently Money in the Bank is happening. We're going to go the other way. Aaron, do you think that Money in the Bank is going to happen when it's scheduled in May, or do you think it's going to be rescheduled?
Well, it seems to be things are getting worse. So if it was my decision, I would postpone it.
To win.
But that's my decision. But I think they'll go through as planned.
All right. Jason, same question to you.
I see them postponing it due to the virus still outbreak, not at its peak, like they're talking about on the news. I think they're going to postpone it. I don't know exactly for how long, or they could possibly do like they did for WrestleMania.
Yeah. All right. So Bianca Belair is officially part of the main roster now. Um, she's on Raw, which means that she might face Becky Lynch for her title. Taker said that he may keep his big evil look that he had at WrestleMania. Um, Goldberg didn't want to extend his contract any more dates than he already had, which was the two title matches. Jason, do you know who was going to face Goldberg if Braun Strowman didn't?
I did not.
Aaron, have you heard of that?
It was supposed to be Reigns.
No, after that.
Oh, not sure.
It's going to be Jeff Hardy.
What?
Yeah, if Goldberg would have extended his contract, they would have had him fight Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy would have lost.
Which is stupid.
Yeah. Big question. Anyone can answer this. Could John Cena return?
I don't see John Cena returning. He hasn't been really wrestling besides the WrestleMania match. He's been out doing other stuff, so I don't see him returning at all. Maybe sometime along the line, but not now.
Okay. Aaron?
I can see him returning as a heel, maybe. Sadly, that won't happen. I think Cena's officially done for a while.
All right.
Because I don't see anyone he can really be in a feud with anymore, because he's already been in feuds with the top guys who are the top guys in the company right now. So I just don't see him coming back.
All right. Aaron, would you like to review Halloween Havoc 98?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
Why no?
But I mean, do I have to?
Yes. You knew this. I don't know why you're acting surprised.
I mean, worth a shot, right?
No, it's not. All right, let's get to reviewing Halloween Havoc 98. Let's go.
I mean, great show. Yeah. So the first match was Chris Jericho taking on Raven for the WCW World Television Championship. I enjoyed it. Raven originally wasn't so he came out, made his entrance after Jericho, or I think Jericho made his entrance after, and Raven kind of did his little sincere type promo, said he's not gonna face anyone, and Jericho came out and said the Jerichoholics came to see a show. That's what I'm gonna give you, and it was a good match. It was great. Jericho won by submission via the Lion Tamer.
Okay.
Not the Walls of Jericho, the Lion Tamer. The next match, we had Wrath and Meng. This one I didn't really pay attention much to because it was such a short match. For 4 minutes. Wrath defeated Meng. It was just a normal singles match. And then we had this match was really interesting. It was actually quite long too. I mean, it was only 9 minutes, 39 seconds. But Disco Inferno and Juventud Guerrera, they really cruiserweights make WCW. I will say that. Disco Inferno defeated Juventud Guerrera, who would get a chance to face Billy Kidman later in the night. And then we had Alex Wright defeating Fit Finlay, which was surprising because, Fit Finlay was on a really hot streak at that time in WCW. So you wouldn't think they would kill his momentum, but it didn't really kill the momentum of him. It was a good match. And then we had Perry Saturn and Lodi. This one, again, didn't really pay much attention to because it was short match. It was short-lived. And Perry Saturn won. And then we had the Cruiserweight Championship match, which Billy Kidman against Disco Inferno. Billy Kidman won. Hard-fought battle, a lot of high-flying action. It was 10 minutes and 49 seconds. It was the longest match, almost one of the longest matches on the card.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we had Rick Steiner and Buff Bagwell defeating the Giant, aka the Big Show, and Scott Steiner to become the new WCW World Tag Team Champions. This one was interesting because right after this match, Rick Steiner faced Scott Steiner, and Rick Steiner won that match. And then this match was probably the weirdest one. We had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Scott Hall was messed up. You could tell. He slurred on his promos. This version of Scott Hall was the worst. Sorry. And Scott Hall defeated Kevin Nash. I paid attention to this match, but like not enough to remember all the big spots. This next match was probably my favorite because it was also in 2K17. If you don't remember, it was Bret Hart and Sting for the WCW United States Championship. Bret Hart looked probably the best he's ever been. Sting looked amazing as well. Sting with the red and black, the Wolfpack face paint. This was my favorite version of Sting, in my opinion, in WCW. Bret Hart won by knockout, which was odd. It was a good match. It was a great match. And then up next, we had Hollywood Hogan defeating the Warrior in a singles match. Of course, Hogan goes over this time against Ultimate Warrior because he's such an egotistical maniac.
Right.
It was all right. It wasn't better than their match at WrestleMania 6. Which I enjoy that match too, surprisingly. And then the main event, Goldberg against Diamond Dallas Page. This was my favorite match of the night, of the whole night. This was my favorite match. Because, normally WCW Goldberg would squash everyone. One spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. No, Diamond Dallas Page fought hard. Honestly, I think he should have won, but Goldberg won. The match was 10 minutes and 29 seconds. The longest match on this whole card was Bret Hart and Sting. That's crazy. I give WCW Halloween Havoc 1998 4.5 stars. I enjoyed it. I didn't see it really much as a punishment. I saw it more as like an entertainment venture. Sure. It just didn't seem too much of a punishment to me. So, I would watch it again, definitely.
All right.
But yeah, 4.5 stars for WCW Halloween Havoc, 1998.
All right. You guys want to review WrestleMania 36?
Sure.
Yeah, we can.
All right. So we're gonna start with part 1. There's only one pre-show match for each night. So the only pre-show match we had for the first night was Cesaro versus Drew Gulak. I thought it was a good match. I think Drew Gulak should have went over.
The strength of Cesaro, man, especially after his injuries, the strength he has is so crazy.
I agree.
The way he won though is kind of weird. Like he
Yeah.
didn't win with neutralizer, he didn't win with an uppercut. He won with an airplane spin, power bomb, rack
No
bomb, or something.
hands.
Yeah, no hands.
Yeah,
It was weird. I thought he was gonna do a Michinoko driver. I was like, oh geez, let's not do that.
I mean that would have been pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
I feel like the way he won was kind of eh.
Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna give that match 4 stars.
That one should. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3.5.
It was a great way to kick off WrestleMania.
What's your star rating for it?
Uh, four
4.
stars.
All right. All right. So the first match of the main show, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. I hate Asuka, and every time she's on TV, I want to punch her in the throat. So I'm glad Bliss and Cross won. Do you guys have anything else to say about this match?
No, it was a great match. I don't. I'm gonna say the same thing as you. I don't like Asuka or Kairi Sane. I'm glad Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross won. Hopefully they keep their word and become fighting champions.
Yeah. Aaron?
It was awkward watching it with no crowd. Just the whole show in general. It was just weird. But like I enjoyed the match. It was a great match. Congratulations to Bliss and Cross.
Of course. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. 3.5 stars.
I'm gonna give it 4.
Okay.
3 solid.
Yeah. Most of mine is just because Asuka was in the match.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just anyway. So the next match is Elias versus King Corbin. King Corbin did come out at first and say that Elias wasn't there, and told the ref to do her job and count him out. And then he came out, and then he beat Corbin down. It was funny because right before he
Smashed
did
his
that,
guitar over him.
yeah, right before he did that, my grandpa was like, "Oh yeah, Elias is gonna, you know where Elias is gonna play that guitar?" I'm like, "I don't know where." He's like, "He's gonna play it on Corbin's head." I'm like, "What?" And then he did it. And I was like, "All right, well."
I mean, it's kind of cliche when you see Elias with a guitar.
Well, yeah, well, thanks to Jeff Jarrett. Now it's just like a ripoff.
Don't piss me off.
I like this match. I thought it was good. I'm a fan of King Corbin, and I was kind of upset that he didn't win, but that's okay. I'm gonna give this match 4.5 stars.
All right. Well, I don't like King Corbin, and I was glad that Elias won. I'm gonna give the match 4.5.
All right.
I'm not mad that Elias won. I think him going over makes him look really strong and in the hunt for a title picture in the long run. Um, 4.5 stars. It was a great match. Again, Corbin really put Elias over in a good way, and I like that. And Corbin's a great heel too.
I agree. So the next match I thought was kind of weird. I thought it'd be a little lower down on the card. We have Becky Lynch defending her title against Shayna Baszler. Um, I thought it was kind of weird that Shayna Baszler came out in red because she's the queen of spades and spades are black.
Right.
But I thought it was a good match. I didn't like the finish. I thought Shayna should have went over. You guys got anything else to add?
No, but one thing. I mean, it was one hell of a reversal out of that.
I agree.
She pulled something out of her butt.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna give that match I'm gonna say 4 stars.
Okay. Aaron?
The wrong person won. I honestly, thought because Shayna, it kind of makes her look weak if you think about it. Because Shayna came into the chamber looking so strong, you knew she was going to win, so you thought, oh, she's definitely taking the belt. She's winning the title of Mania. There's no way she's not. And when she lost, I was like, wait, Shayna lost? I was shocked. Shayna should have won. Overall, it was a good match, but like wrong person won.
I agree.
Because it makes her look weak now. Because like she
It
lost
does. Well,
with a
not
roll.
only because of the chamber, because since November they've been building her up to be the
Mm-hmm.
next monster heel for Becky to beat, and then she beats her with she's got out of a submission. Like it wasn't. It's actually without the Strowman and Goldberg match. It's the shortest match on the entire card
Mm-hmm.
for that night.
So the same way Shayna lost is the same way she lost the NXT Women's Championship to Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
Got her in the Kirifuda clutch, reversed into a pin. Come on.
Yeah.
Like it makes her look so weak because they build her up to be this badass bitch who won't take no for an answer. And and then it just makes her look weak now.
Yeah. Aaron, what's your star rating for this match?
I give it a 3. I enjoyed it, but like not enough to give it a 4.
I'm giving her a 4.5 purely because it was a good match. I think Shayna did a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just missing that 0.5 for me because the wrong person won. Um, Next up we have Sami Zayn, who is defending his Intercontinental Championship versus Daniel Bryan with 3 people on the outside. Jason, we'll start with you.
The wrong, it was a great match. Don't get me wrong, but the wrong person won. I wish I could have seen Daniel Bryan come out with the title.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that he would have been, or he would have overcame the odds yet again.
Yeah.
So I would give that match 3.5.
All right. Aaron.
I enjoyed the match with Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn. He's a great heel right now. With him going out of the ring and kind of like teasing Bryan, I enjoyed it. That haluva kick was sick. I'm not mad that Daniel Bryan lost because like I think we're gonna see them two face off again eventually for the IC title. Because I think Sami Zayn deserves a lengthy title reign right now. Because it's his first title in WWE besides the NXT Championship, of course. So yeah, I'm not mad about the result.
Um. What's your star rating for the match?
I give it a 4.5. I really enjoyed the match.
I really liked it too. I also liked that haluva kick where they picked him up and he just came in and
Yeah,
knocked him out. It was a good match. I'm also gonna give it a 4.5. I think it would have been cool if Daniel Bryan would have won, giving him another WrestleMania moment. Um. All right. So the next match. Oh, my star. Yeah, I already gave my star rating. For the next match is John Morrison versus Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston. So if you didn't watch WrestleMania, The Miz was actually sick during this taping, so they decided to have it be a triple threat, a regular triple threat, not a tag team triple threat. So they have one person from each team: John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston, in a triple threat ladder match, which is what it was anyway, but it's just the
it's not a
solo.
tag team ladder match.
Right. So, I did not like the ending of this, but I'll get into that later. Aaron, you can start with this one.
This was my favorite match of the night, or what was on night one? I'm thinking, what was on night one?
The rest
Oh,
of
wait,
it is Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Strowman, and Goldberg, and Undertaker and Styles.
okay. Um, I mean, besides Taker and Styles, this was my favorite match of the night. The innovations that uh that they all did, especially Morrison. He hasn't lost a step. Uh Man, those
Well,
spots they did were
it's
crazy.
it's it's kind of hard to lose a step when you're wrestling in two different promotions.
I mean, he still got the WWE style down.
True. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Because,
Okay.
like, when you go to another company, it's a different style. Because WWE's got their own style.
Yeah, but he's
Um,
always kind of done that anyway, even in TNA.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
I mean, he's kind of kept that style and just kind of like
Make
modified it
it,
a little bit to make it different.
yeah. But that ending spot where they're all holding onto the belt and Morrison's got the thing that the title belts are on, and then gets ripped off, and then Morrison falls with the title belts. I'm like, damn, like they timed that perfectly too. That was such a great spot too. I enjoy,
Uh,
I enjoyed it so much. I'm giving
Star
it a
rating?
5 star, 5 stars, man.
5 stars. Wow. Jason, you can go ahead. You can go next.
I mean, it was a great match. I wish I would have seen Jimmy Uso overcome the odds of that. It was a great match. I'm gonna have to rate it 4.5 stars.
Okay. I also thought it was a good match. I did not like the ending. I was kind of hoping that like either Jimmy or Kofi would have like grabbed one of the titles and then had Morrison fall down with the other title to kind of make it a little more dramatic than it was. Um, Other than that, obviously it's a good match. Lots of ladder spots, lots of really high flying spots. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 5 stars. Yeah. Next one we got Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. It was a regular match that turned into a no DQ match.
Mm-hmm.
This had probably the best spot of the night with Owens climbing onto the WrestleMania sign and jumping off of it. Um, I was kind of upset that Seth Rollins didn't win, but that's fine. Kevin Owens is a good wrestler, so I'm gonna go 5 stars for this match. Jason, you can go next.
All right, I'm upset that Seth Rollins didn't win. Also, great match. Don't get me wrong. A lot of high flying. Uh, like Kevin Owens up on the WrestleMania side and jumping down. That was a great one. Also, there was a couple really gnarly bell shots,
Yeah.
which I thought was really cool. But I'm going to rate this match with 5 stars.
All right. Aaron.
I Okay, so I really like the match when Rollins was selling, like, after Owens jumped on him off the WrestleMania sign. Like, shit, dude, you felt you sympathized with him for a bit, and
I'm pretty sure
him
that was
losing.
real.
Yeah, like it really felt, especially with no crowd now. When like you're selling stuff, it seems more real now since
Yeah,
there's no crowd, and it's weird.
it is weird.
But with Rollins losing necessarily doesn't make him look weak. I think he becomes stronger now because he wants it more.
Right.
So I think him losing was the best idea right now because it doesn't make him look weak. Like normally when someone loses a big match like that, oh, it makes him look weak and his push is gone. I think we're gonna see a big push soon with
Hopefully.
Rollins as a heel.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, 5 stars as well.
All right. Do you guys want to talk about the Strowman Goldberg match?
Spear, spear.
Power slam.
Jackhammer try. Power slam. Power slam. Power slam. Power slam. Pin.
Running power
Pin.
slam.
Ru-
Because
Running.
one of them was just a few of them were just a power slam, but then he did a running power slam, and then he pinned.
Right. I
It's
mean,
very short match.
I wish the match would have been longer,
Yeah.
and
I,
I would have hoped that Goldberg would have won over that, but
2 stars for me.
I'm gonna go 1.5.
sorry, no stars.
No stars.
It was just your typical boring Goldberg match.
Yeah.
It wasn't entertaining. It was like a palate cleanser before the main event. It was the match where you could go get a snack and
Yeah.
like you wouldn't miss anything because there's
Right.
nothing to miss.
True.
It-
All right. So obviously the best match in my opinion of the night, a pre-recorded Boneyard match, which I kind of thought it was what it was. So it was a graveyard match, is what it was.
It was a buried alive graveyard, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Undertaker versus AJ Styles obviously had his OC brothers there, Gallows and Anderson. Probably the best. I mean, this is a really good match.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not going to break the grading scale yet. We'll get to that. Undertaker, obviously, at first he was, pretty much, just an old man, because AJ just kept digging into how he's too old to do this now, and Undertaker was kind of like, yeah, you know what? It kind of feels like he is. But then when AJ Styles went to bury him, and those car lights turned on behind him, and he's just standing there. Greatest image of the night. Like, there's nothing
Oh
better.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give this a 5 stars. Aaron, we can go that way.
All right. My favorite, one of my favorite parts of the night was AJ's entrance, where the hearse is driving, the coffin comes out, and you think it's the Undertaker, but AJ just swerves in like, ha, like. Also, AJ's monologuing. Does Michelle know you're out here this late? Like, come on, like
Yeah.
AJ is such a great heel,
Yeah.
and he shows it here. Yes, this match was pre-recorded. It took 8 hours to film this, but
Yes.
the final product was perfect. Like, I didn't see a flaw, and also like Undertaker legit bled hard way when he hit the window and he looked at his arm and he's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
wasn't supposed to happen. That was actually a second time they recorded that, and they left it in there because they thought it was cool. So that actually wasn't supposed to happen.
I think it made it better.
Yeah, I
It made
agree.
it because like with Undertaker bleeding and and just him looking at his arm going, son of a bitch.
And then him
Come on.
saying, "Look what you made me do."
Yeah.
And then Gallows and Anderson and the Druids got involved
Yes.
on AJ's behalf. When they're fighting on top of the roof, when Anderson got the tombstone, I was like, damn, like shit. And you got to wonder how sturdy really was that roof, because that's crazy. That like
Yeah.
and then AJ got chokeslammed off onto a set of pallets, wood pallets,
Yep.
crazy. And then AJ's like, "Don't bury me," and it's like, "What's my wife's name? How old am I now?" Like, dude, Undertaker is so great when it comes to Mania.
Yeah.
My favorite part was after the match. After Undertaker rode off, you see AJ's hand out of the dirt. An eerie visual. I
Yeah.
loved it. That was my favorite part. All you see is AJ's hand with his P1 glove and not moving one bit. I loved it.
Wait,
Star
yeah.
rating?
Uh, 100. I'm sorry, but breaks the scale.
I was gonna do that for a later one. Why would you do that now?
Well, hey, I might do it for 2, first time on the podcast history. So just chillax.
Jeez. Jason, go ahead.
Alrighty, I'm gonna say, it was an amazing match. Undertaker is amazing at WrestleMania, and it was very stupid of AJ Styles to try to call out the Undertaker and talk about his wife. Which the best part, or the 2 best parts of the match I liked, was when AJ Styles got choke slammed off the roof onto the wood pallets.
Yeah.
And then second one is when AJ Styles tried to bury the Undertaker and the car lights come on and Undertaker was right there. It kind of freaked me out for a minute.
It's a great image.
Very great image. But I'm going to have to rate that. I'm going to have to say 5 stars.
Yeah.
I love
it. So, night 2, we start with so night 1, the longest match was the Styles and Undertaker match, 19 minutes.
Flat.
The next one is the triple threat ladder match. And the third one is the Alexa Bliss Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors match. All clocking in over 10 minutes.
Crazy.
Yeah. So night 2, which is April 5th, which is Sunday, we have Liv Morgan versus Natalya. Jason, go ahead.
That was a great match. Liv Morgan come out sort of strong and then finished at the end. I would have to rate that match at a 3.
All right. Did you give a star rating?
Yeah, I said 3.
You said
Okay.
3 stars.
Aaron, go ahead.
I didn't watch the kickoff for night 2, so I didn't see this match.
Okay.
I saw highlights of it though. What I saw was good. So
yeah,
I think Liv Morgan going over Natalya was a good idea.
I agree. Obviously, I love Liv Morgan on 2K19. She's still my manager.
Oh my god, you're a mark for Liv Morgan.
I'm such a mark for Liv Morgan, dude.
You wish you could be with.
Yes. I love Liv Morgan. I'm glad that she went over Natalya, and I think she did really good in this match. I'm gonna go with the 5 stars just for you, Liv. 5 stars for Liv Morgan. That's what I'm talking about.
She's not gonna listen to this.
She will. So
No,
the next match is Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. Who would like to start?
I will.
All right.
It was a very, very well fought match by both of them. I kind of knew Charlotte was going to win. But it was a great match. I didn't think it was going to end the way it did. I knew it was going to end by submission, but I didn't think it was going to take as long as it did. I'm going to have to rate that for that match. I'm going to rate it 5 stars just because Charlotte Flair.
All right. Aaron, go ahead.
wrong person won. Simple as that. I enjoyed the match, but the wrong person won. Charlotte using her backstage politics.
I disagree.
Here's the thing. Charlotte doesn't need another title reign, especially with NXT. She's demoting herself with this.
But she doesn't think of it that way.
Why? But why would you want to bump down to NXT when you're already on the main roster, striving and thriving, like your dad was? And you go back to NXT, like it makes no sense. Like that's like saying John Cena is going to NXT to become NXT champion.
Literally everyone who came from NXT wants to go back to NXT.
Which I don't understand why. Like I would love to be on the main. If I was an NXT guy, I would work my ass off to get on the main roster.
It's because of the creative freedom they have on NXT.
I just don't like the decision. Because Ripley wasn't NXT Women's Champion for a long time, and it just doesn't.
But now she's not settled with this. Now she can come up to the main roster.
I mean, yeah, I just don't like the decision.
Star rating?
4.5.
I'm gonna go with 5.
I would have given it a 5-star for a Ripley one.
I don't like Charlotte Flair, but I understand the decision. Obviously Charlotte, she can do whatever she wants.
Backstage politics.
It's not backstage politics. Stop it. So, I do want to see her team up with somebody, maybe Becky or something, and be Grand Slam champion here soon. But you know what? She wants to go back down to NXT. That's her choice. I like Rhea Ripley. I was really hoping she would have won, so we could have got her and Toni Storm again, maybe on the main roster. But that's okay. I'm going 5 stars for this one. Next one, singles match: Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Aaron, you can start.
This was an impromptu match, of course. It was like out of nowhere. I enjoyed it. The right person won. I think. Oh, sorry. I think with Aleister Black winning this match, definitely looking strong. I enjoyed it. That when Lashley was going to go for the Dominator, Lana was like, "No, spear him, spear him." He goes for the spear, Black Mass, bam. So I enjoyed it. I give it a 3-star rating. It was a good palate cleanser after Rhea and Charlotte.
All right, Jason.
I'm gonna say it's a good match. The right person won. I'm gonna have to rate that match would have been a 4 in my book.
Okay. I agree. Right person won. Great match. Obviously, Aleister Black is amazing. I'm gonna go with a 4-star as well. Next match we have Otis versus Dolph Ziggler with Sonya Deville by his side. I like this match. I thought Otis did a really good job. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler is a good wrestler, even though I hate him. I do like that. I'm hoping the story's over now. Well, at least with Dolph Ziggler in it. And maybe we could finally get Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville on their own. I think Sonya Deville would have a better job on Raw anyway. I'm going with the 3.5 just because I don't like Dolph Ziggler. Who wants to go next?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, Aaron, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, this was both Otis and Dolph Ziggler's first singles match at WrestleMania. I love Dolph Ziggler. He's a great heel. He knows to work the crowd. In this case, not so much. I really enjoyed the ending with Mandy Rose coming out, beating up Sonya Deville, and low blowing Dolph. And then the Caterpillar by Otis.
Gotta get the Caterpillar in.
The Caterpillar, Ducky. I enjoyed it. That super kick Dolph threw at Otis was, oh man, I felt that, dude. I felt that. I literally sold it. Like literally, when I watched it, I sold that super kick. I give it a 3.5. It was great. Again, I think it would have been cool to see Ziggler win his first singles match at Mania, but like it makes storyline sense for Otis to win to get the big victory.
And the girl.
No pun intended by big victory.
Yeah, I got it.
And the girl, of course.
And the girl. Come on now.
I loved what JBL said as Mandy and Otis were kissing, and I forgot what he said, but it was so funny. My dad even liked that.
I can't remember it.
He was funny overall at Mania.
Jason, go ahead.
I'm gonna say that it was a great match. I'm gonna have to rate that one at a 4.
Okay. Anything in the match you liked particularly, or just the whole match?
It was a good match. I kind of liked when Mandy Rhodes come out and beat the shit out of Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was gonna show up.
I didn't think she was gonna either. I'm like, oh well, she's not even there. And then she came out. I was like, oh, never mind, she is.
Right.
All right. So the next one is the last man standing match: Edge versus Randy Orton at the longest match of the entire weekend at 36 minutes and 35 seconds. It was a good match. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked a lot of the spots. I did like when Edge jumped up onto that little thing like on the ceiling over the table and he just fell on Randy Orton.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like he tugged on the fence to see, hey, is this gonna support me? Like that was great. That was a great work by him, checking to see if a spot's gonna work.
Oh yeah. I like this match a lot. I'm gonna give it a 5. Jason, you can go next.
It was a great match. Edge did a phenomenal job throughout the whole match, even though he took a lot of damage throughout the match.
He did.
Great comeback after 9 years. I'm gonna have to rate that as 10.
Yeah, breaking the scale all over, guys. Aaron.
I really good. I'm so tired. I loved this match. Besides the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match, which we'll get to that later.
Yes.
Was one of my favorite matches, and I loved it. Yes, they did a really controversial spot, but I liked it.
Same.
And the whole match was so good. The emotion Edge was showing right before he concertos Orton. The emotion, he's crying. He's like, these guys were friends. I don't know if considered best friends like him.
I would say they were best friends. I mean, they had their own tag team.
Yeah, but they weren't best friends more than him and Matt Hardy or him and Christian. And they only tagged for roughly 5-6 months.
Oh yeah, but they've known each other for a long time.
Right. True. Just the emotion Edge showed before he did it. I think with Edge winning was a good idea.
Yeah.
I loved 5 stars, not 10. Sorry, 5. Definitely 5 stars. There was nothing really wrong with this match.
No.
As far as I saw.
I guess it did go on a little longer than it probably should have, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I think that was okay to do.
Yeah, I didn't mind it really. Next one we have the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, defending their tag team championships versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory after Andrade had to pull out because he broke a rib. Um, so they replaced him with Austin Theory. This is my first time seeing Austin in a match. I think he did pretty well. Really got the heel stuff over. Right team won on this one. Street Profits won, and I'm gonna give that a 5. Aaron, you can go next, and then Jason, you can go last.
I love Austin Theory. He's such a great wrestler. If you haven't watched his stuff from Evolve in NXT, definitely watch it. He's no one to sleep on. I always say that a lot about football players and shit, but like Austin Theory's not a guy to sleep on. He's true talent. He's got that it factor. He could definitely be a world champion eventually. I see it. Great match. I'm not mad that Austin Theory and Garza lost. It kind of makes sense because, it would have made more sense if Andrade was able to compete than they would win the tag titles.
Right.
After the match, Zelina Vega gets involved and then Bianca Belair gets involved. And I think that was a great way to bring her up to the main roster. I 3.5. The ending spot with the frog splash, I don't know, it looked cliche, like always, like big spot like that, especially in tag team matches, but like I enjoyed the match.
Okay. Jason.
It was a great match. First time seeing Austin Theory. He did a really good job on becoming heel. Really good choice that my boys Street Profits prevailed. It's just their momentum or something when they come out. It just like gets me want to get up and go do something to their music,
Yeah.
Plus, we want the smoke. I'm gonna rate that 4 out of 5.
All right. Next match, Bayley, who is the SmackDown Women's Champion, taking on Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina Snuka. Jason, you can start with this.
Okay, it was a great match. I was really surprised that Bayley, Lacey Evans, Naomi, and Sasha Banks all tag teamed up and pinned Tamina.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obvious.
Yeah, and Lacey Evans got that one hell of a punch on Sasha Banks and
Yeah,
pinned her.
the woman's right, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was really surprised that Sasha Banks came back in and helped Bayley after Bayley kneed her in the face.
Yeah.
I would have to rate that match 5 out of 5.
All right. Aaron.
Putting Tamina in the match was kind of odd. I really would have loved if like Nia Jax returned or something, instead of her returning on Raw. But it's okay. I think with Bayley winning was a good decision. I love Bayley as a heel. You know, she I hate her in a good way.
All right.
I give it a 4-star rating.
Okay. I was really mad that Tamina didn't win. I like Tamina. I think just using her as cannon fodder in these matches is probably the wrong way to use her. I mean, she is the daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka, after all. She's a good wrestler. Like, she's not a bad wrestler or anything. Like, she can actually hold her own in a match. And for that, I'm gonna have to give it a 3.5 star. Even though it was a good match, I think Tamina deserved more than getting out first. So yeah. So next match. In a Firefly Funhouse match. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Big Match John Cena. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Uh,
All right, Jason.
It was a very weird match. I didn't really quite watch it all the way through. I kind of lost interest after it kept going back and forth.
Right.
With me losing interest in watching that match, I'm going to have to rate that as a 2.
Okay. Aaron.
Okay, so this is going to be really descriptive. As descriptive as I can be. I loved this match. It wasn't supposed to be a physical match. It was psychological. And with a character like Bray Wyatt and The Fiend, it works. I loved it. All the different aspects of John Cena's career. Quoting Vince McMahon, this is such good shit. The right person won. The Fiend murdering John Cena, erasing. What I loved, my two favorite parts, was the ruthless when John Cena's like ruthless aggression. He goes to hit Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's like, you can look, but you can't touch. I love shooting on Nikki Bella. Come on, I love that. That was funny.
It was funny.
And then the next when the Fiend had John Cena and the Sister Abigail, or when Bray had him in the Sister Abigail, it referred back to the promo John Cena said about Bray Wyatt, how he's gonna erase the most overpowered, overlooked, overhyped star in the WWE, and Bray Wyatt just killed John Cena.
Yeah.
The NWO spot was amazing too. I loved all of it. The Saturday Night's main event skit. Again, I'm not mad it wasn't a physical fight. I'm relieved about it because seeing it the way it went as psychological and mind bending, come on. Oh, Infinity Stars. Come on. Firefly. They need to add a Firefly Funhouse match in the next game, along with the Boneyard match.
Yes. Star rating.
I said Infinity.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Oh.
All right. So I also love that match, obviously, and I didn't know what the Saturday Night's main event and the WCW Nitro had to do with it. Until I watched Wrestle Talk's video on it. Because I had to have them explain it to me because I had no idea what they had to do with anything. So they're drawing parallels for John Cena and Hulk Hogan because they're basically the same person. Big Match John, he doesn't like to lose, so he tries to pull as many strings as he can to win every match.
Politics.
That was Hulk Hogan back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was Hulk Hogan even in TNA.
It was Hulk Hogan in WCW.
It's Hulk Hogan everywhere, and so I didn't know what they had to do with it until I watched that video on it, and that made me appreciate it even more because we all know that that John Cena is the modern day Hulk Hogan. And it was a great match. I keep seeing on the wrestling groups that I'm in that no one got it, no one liked it, that it wasn't a match. And I'm like, it was a match. It just wasn't a physical match.
It was psychological. That's it was plain. While the match was going on, it was playing literally the whole time we were watching it. My dad's like, "When is the match gonna start?" I'm like, "Dad, this is the match.
This is the match. This is
and
the
he's
match."
It's like this is stupid. I'm like, I mean, yeah, in a way.
if I really feel like you'd have to understand and really know about John Cena and Bray Wyatt because they even
Hmm.
went to the original Bray Wyatt character.
The Husky Harris.
No, to
Oh,
Bray Wyatt's character,
yeah,
not Husky
but
Harris.
but they also kind of went in depth with Husky Harris.
Well, he did, but he was
Yeah,
actually dressed up like Bray
yeah,
Wyatt.
yeah. Right.
But yeah,
What I
I
also
love.
loved how they during one of the parts they showed Punk and Van Dam.
Oh yeah, because
Hmm.
because
His
Van Dam
failures.
won and CM Punk won because he's because the fans wanted Van Dam to win, the fans wanted Punk to win, the fans wanted Bray Wyatt to win, and John Cena's like, no, I'm winning.
Yeah, the
It was
original plan
great.
was for Wyatt to win. That was the
Yeah,
original plan.
yeah,
And Cena changed it last minute.
yep.
Backstage politics.
So Infinity Stars for me too. I love it so much.
Sway. Yes.
So the last match on here, Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
All right, Jason, go ahead.
It was a great match. Not as long as I thought it was going to be. The right person prevailed.
Yes.
I'm tired of Brock Lesnar not being a fighting champion and actually wrestling on Raw and SmackDown against people.
Yeah.
I would have to rate that 6 out of 5 stars.
All right. Aaron.
Um, Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Championship was so great. I loved the hype package before the match where, it went in depth with Drew's career from the Chosen One gimmick to 3MB and then him getting fired and him coming back. I loved it. Um, I'm glad McIntyre won. Um, I think with McIntyre going over Lesnar's still strong in this.
Of course.
It's just him passing the torch
Yeah.
per se. I would honestly love to see Drew McIntyre be a Paul Heyman guy. I think he would be a great one.
That'd be
Like
amazing.
if McIntyre were to turn heel later in his title run and join Heyman, I think that would be amazing to see.
Yeah.
I give it a 4.5. It was typical Brock Lesnar style match, quick. I think if we would have got like the event at Raymond J Stadium, I think the match would have been longer, but due to the circumstances because of what's going on now, I think they had to shorten the match.
Yeah.
That's how it was for most of the matches here because I feel like most of these matches were meant to be really long.
Except for the
Or at
Braun
least
Strowman Goldberg match.
right, that would stay the same.
Yeah.
That
But
would
it
have been
went
the
by Roman
palate.
Reigns.
That would have been the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great match. 4.5 stars.
All right. I'm going with 5 stars. Right person won. It's a great match. Um, great way to end WrestleMania. And I know they had Drew McIntyre versus Big Show on the dark match. I also had it on Raw,
Mm.
which I thought was kind of
Did,
weird.
did you know that Drew McIntyre broke a rule?
Yes,
I
he
didn't know
looked
if you
into the
were going to get
camera.
into that. Yep.
You're not supposed to look into the camera, and he looked
Well,
into
I
it
mean,
anyway.
in this case, it makes sense to do it because there's no crowd. So I don't blame Drew for doing this. But like,
Right,
if there was an actual crowd present, then you'd be like, you can just tell the crowd, thank you. You don't have
right.
to reach. You don't have to reach out. Because what that reminded me of when Drew reached out, it reminded me of when CM Punk used to do that. He's like, put your hand on the screen,
Oh
reach
yeah,
out, and what would he say? Dem- something about like becoming straight edge or whatever.
Right. All right. So, WrestleMania 36 as a whole. Jason, we're gonna start with you. What is your? So this will go up to 10 stars. What's your overall rating?
For the overall WrestleMania,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. All right, Aaron.
I give it a 9.5 out of 10. There were some things that could have been changed or could have been different, but overall it was great. I might just watch it again here soon.
All right.
It was great. Also, you forgot a match.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What match?
Rob Gronkowski, baby.
Doesn't count. That wasn't a match.
It was. There was a ref present. There was a title change. It counts. I give it a 5 out of 5.
I'm not counting it.
Rob Gronkowski winning his first title in WWE.
No, I am not counting it.
Come on, it was a match.
Not counting it.
There was a ref present, 24/7 championship.
I'm gonna give the entire show 10 out of 10. I think this WrestleMania might be my second favorite of all time now. It can't be number one because number one is WrestleMania 31 from 5 years ago. Greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Yes.
I mean, 31 was okay.
It was amazing.
I mean, it was good, but like, it was. But I really enjoyed this year's WrestleMania. They really delivered with what they had.
Yeah. All
No
right.
pyro though. That sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's they're in such a enclosed space.
Right.
All right. A little over an hour. That was good.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about anything else before we sign off?
Oh, I read that Rhea Ripley, there's something going on with her.
Yeah,
Her work visa has expired or something, or she can't renew it, and she
Yeah.
has to go back to Australia.
Actually, I heard that she doesn't have to go back to Australia. She just can't work in America.
Oh, I thought like you had to go back to your home country or something like to get that fixed.
Not for work visas.
Oh, okay.
No, that's for
Why?
like travel visas.
Oh, okay.
But work visas, you shouldn't have to go back to
Okay.
your original country.
Right.
All right. Never mind. But yeah, she's not allowed to work for a bit, so
Yeah,
it's
till
gonna
she gets
suck.
that fixed.
Mm,
Um, we might do a real cast recording tomorrow.
okay.
It's gonna be the second round of our current bracket.
Oh, the TV.
Yeah, the best TV show of all time.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Same. I don't really have anything else either.
Jason, do you have anything?
I don't.
All right. Okay. Oh, so there's actually I do have something else. So there's a YouTuber called Mr. Boss for the win,
Hmm.
and he is a GTA YouTuber, which means he just clickbaits a whole bunch. Um, and says that he has like exclusive details on GTA 6. He doesn't obviously because he likes to lie. And Ned Luke, the guy who played Michael in GTA 5. called him out on Instagram Live with Sean Fontino, aka Franklin. He's like this YouTuber, this kid on YouTube. He said his name wrong. He's Mr. Boss for the win, and he's like, Mr. Boss, fuck the world. He's like, or whatever his name is. He said he has all this information on GTA 6. He doesn't. He's just a liar, guys. Don't. I'm like, oh, jeez. That Luch is going off, man. That was really funny. All right. Thank you everybody for listening to this. Obviously we do this every week, which is good. We need something to do once a week. Follow me and Aaron on Instagram. Aaron's is Wrestler616. Mine is Jared Weathers YT. Jason, do you have an Instagram or anything?
I don't.
Yeah. Follow me on. Actually, you can follow the podcast now on Spotify and stuff. Weathers Media Podcast on Spotify. Weathers Media Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public. It's like on a lot of stuff.
It's on everything.
Yeah. Follow the Realcast also on Spotify. Follow Aaron on YouTube. Aaron Matthews is the channel name. I think that's it. All right. For Aaron Alment and Jason Crawford, I'm Jared Weathers. Thank everybody for listening to this. And if you're on YouTube, thank you for semi-watching it. Have a good day.